Am I the asshole for telling my brother to euthanize his dog? I know it sounds bad, but hear me out. My brother, 25M, and I, 22F, are both moved out and in college. His dog, we'll call him Bob, is turning 12 this year. We got Bob when he was just a few months old, so he's been in our family for ages. The problem is that my brother isn't the greatest pet parent. Bob was barely trained besides basic tricks, which has led to him becoming aggressive to other dogs and strangers. He's even bitten people, but since he's a smaller breed nobody ever thought it was a big deal. Bob got next to no nail, teeth, or exercise care for his entire life. He's severely overweight, and has been for a good handful of years now. He can't even get up 3 stairs without help, and will fall and yelp continuously if he tries on his own. He's in constant pain, and can only sleep in one position comfortably. He can't even scratch himself anymore. My brother has decided that means it's time to start taking care of him. He's only just started walking him, dieting, and providing nail care. Bob isn't getting better. Bob is now low energy even more than before, and can barely make it up the ramp my brother built to get up into a car. I tried to tell my brother he's doing more harm than good. I told him that giving Bob dog CBD pills so he can simply nap in comfort isn't normal. I told him that Bob needs to be put down and keeping him alive because he's suddenly realized the consequences of his actions isn't anything but selfish. He freaked out and asked me how I would feel if he said this about my dog. I pointed out that my dog, just a year younger than Bob, is completely healthy because I've cared for him properly. My brother called me an asshole and actually called my parents on me like we're 12. Parents think I was too harsh. I think it was harsh to not care for a dog 11 years out of his life. But now everyone's against me and I'm wondering if maybe I am in the wrong. So am I? Edit for info. My brother started taking care of Bob about a year ago, so when I say Bob isn't getting better I mean it. Final edit. I went to bed and have woken up to plenty of hate in my inbox, so thanks for that. A lot of people are saying I'm the asshole but are reasoning with things that don't make sense. It's probably my fault for not including every little minuscule detail, so let me clear up some things. 1. I made my euthanizing comment out of anger because we were fighting about Bob. If you guys could see Bob's terrible pained life yourselves maybe you'd realize why I was pissed off enough to make the remark. 2. The reason I didn't take care of Bob myself is because it's my brother's dog. I haven't been around him every day for 11 years. If I had, perhaps my own dog would be in bad shape as well, or his would be better. Just because he's my brother doesn't mean we've lived together forever. 3. I didn't suggest a vet in our argument like you guys said I should because my brothers ignored the vet's warnings about Bob's health for 11 years. His half-ass attempt at dieting and twice-a-week walks now isn't helping and isn't enough. Maybe I should have been more clear about how bad Bob has gotten and how little my brother has done to help him. 4. My comment wasn't made because I want the dog to die. It's because I know my brother enough to know that he isn't going to do enough to fix Bob's health, isn't going to give him to an owner who can, and will continue like this for the rest of Bob's life. My comment was a last attempt to get his head around the severity of the situation. For those of you calling me a dog killer and saying I'm doing this out of vicious intent, thanks for that. Maybe I didn't include enough info, but maybe you also didn't ask me to clarify anything at all before assuming things that aren't true. I'm gonna apologize to my brother and give him the info some of the, very few, nice people gave here. But if I've learned any lesson from this post it's to never seek advice from Reddit ever again. I realize I was the asshole in this situation and I'm going to deal with it, but I hardly think that was worth the threats in my inbox. I'm not gonna go steal my brother's dog and chuck him under the vet's needle. At the core of all of this, I care about the dog and it pisses me off to see it mistreated. I have no clue how that obvious fact was lost on most of you. But after reading around in this sub I realize now it's clearly just used as a place for angry people to be angry without actually reading all of the info. Thanks to those of you who made me realize I was wrong about my approach, and actually gave me sound advice on how to move forward. Peace. The dog needs another vet checkup. See comment that he hasn't been in a year, and go from there. That is an appropriate suggestion from you, rather than what you said, and proper course of action for your brother. You are the asshole. It seems like you want to put down your brother's dog to teach him some sort of twisted lesson. You are the asshole. If the dog's vet isn't advising the dog being put down then it shouldn't be. Depending on the breed of dog it could have a few years of life left which could be of a good quality if the dog is now looked after properly. You and the rest of your family are also assholes for not stepping in sooner if you have been around the dog for the past 11 years. Yes, it's not your dog, but to have a dog basically being abused in your house and not doing anything about it makes you nearly as bad as your brother. Your brother is an asshole too for not looking after the dog in the first place and being the reason that small dogs get a bad rep. You are the asshole. That's a horrible thing to say to someone. The dog isn't dying. SMH. You are the asshole. Bob is enjoying himself. He may be unhealthy, but, with the CBD, it sounds like he's medium happy. If dogs know how to do, medium. There's no need to put Bob down. Even though you are the better dog trainer, why still talk? You are the asshole. Yeah, it's not euthanasia if the dog isn't dying. You're just asking him to kill his dog for no real reason other than being overweight. Info. Is your brother working with a veterinarian or any kind of dog professional? I would say this is something their opinion would be important for. I don't support leaving an animal in pain, but have no idea what the success of being a good pet parent now would have. Not the asshole. People shouldn't neglect their pets and whine when said neglect is pointed out to them. Perhaps there is a more gentle way to tell someone it's probably time to say goodbye to their friend, but still doesn't make you the asshole in this situation. Am I the asshole for rubbing my successful career in my brother's face? I, 30 female, work in a very male-dominated, technical field. For security interest I won't say what I do. However, it's a hard job with lots of hours spent in the field. I chose to follow in my dad's footsteps and pursue the same career as him. I worked my off to finish my advanced degree and meet the necessary qualifications to be on the same level as my dad. Needless to say, I have risen to the top and have become pretty successful. My brother, 26, also chose this career path. Unfortunately, a few years ago my brother made some awful decisions and he was smacked with a felony record. He can no longer work in our field as he can't pass a background check. On to today. At work we were having issues with our system. Technology is technology and does not always work. While I was waiting for someone on site to hopefully fix said issue, I sent a Snapchat video to my brother. It was a simple video of me pushing the error caution, silence button and the message repeatedly popping up and me in the background saying, "Okay. What the hell is wrong with you?" After this I put my phone away and went about my day. After work I looked at my phone and had missed calls and messages from a lot of family members. The VM from my mom started with, "Why do you have to be such a bi and upset your brother? We get it, you have a hotshot career." My dad, while being a lot nicer, said I should have thought about how that video would be received and it was in poor taste to send it. Uncles and grandparents agreed I was the asshole and kept reminding my brother of the fact that he will never have the career he wanted. One uncle claimed the video was me throwing my successful career in my brother's face. My dad asked me to apologize but I said no. My argument was he's an adult who made his own choices and I won't walk on eggshells my whole life. He feelings might be hurt. It wasn't my fault he did what he did and I had nothing to apologize for. The video wasn't sent with malicious intent. It was a simple video highlighting a stupid system failure. I won't claim I'm the asshole with this since the situation was blown way out of proportion. I think I might be the asshole because it could have made my brother feel bad or embarrassed and reminded him of what he did by sending the video. So, Reddit, what do you think? Edit. BC. It keeps coming up. I have hardly anyone as Snapchat friends. A total of 6 people, 2 of whom I regularly send snaps to, one being my brother. I have sent him snap photos of some work stuff in the past. Usually on Monday mornings when I come in to 50+ emails. He's never had an issue with this. Edit. To those of you who are asking what he did, I don't want to say something awful enough to warrant 2 felonies. He's done his time and is working on things. Edit. His felonies record happened 2 years ago. We, as a family, still talk about our work at some gatherings when he is present. He's never had a reaction like this before. Edit. I sent the video BC my brother and I do snap a few times a day. Mostly stupid stuff. This happened today, Sunday. I'm out working on a weekend. The video was of me sitting there contemplating aloud why the computer was being stupid and not doing its job. I did explain to my dad why I sent the video. He understood but said it was still a bad idea. My mom, however, wouldn't hear a word of what I had to say. I have no talk to my brother about it. Not the asshole. Let me guess, he was the favorite and they all coddle him. Hence attacking you for a frankly silly Snapchat. Not the asshole. If he's that triggered by a simple video of you pushing a button, what else do they expect? Do that want you to just pretend you're stupid and useless and unsuccessful because your brother might have his precious feelings hurt? Just don't bother sending him anything else that's not necessary. Not the asshole. Your family wants you to pretend not to be a success because your brother will feel bad? That's asinine. Not the asshole. Honestly, I have to keep rereading it to even understand what the issue is, which I'm still not sure I do. Not the asshole. I get the feeling that none of this would be happening if you were a male, and since you have committed the sin of being a successful woman, they are trying to put you in your place. I could be way off, but that's what I'm sensing here. Nobody is offended by your text, they're offended by your success. So, let me get this straight. Your brother is a felony who ruined his own life, but your family is mad at you because your success makes his man feels hurt? For how long are you supposed to pretend that you're not a successful human? Can you talk about work or promotions or the things that you buy with your salary? If you dare to buy a nice house or car, will that be too insensitive for his man feels? Not the asshole. I am the youngest out of 4 kids. I'm the only girl. Yet I was treated the worst and my brothers were all coddled and highly favored. Flash forward, I'm 25 now. Just started my 2nd year of law school. I got a full ride scholarship to both my college and law school. And whenever I post to my Instagram about being happy with life and how I'm living my dream, I always get the same, imagine how your brothers feel. I feel like we're in similar situations and I'm very proud of you. Sorry you have to go through this. Not the asshole. It wasn't done maliciously and your brother and family are overreacting. Am I the asshole for pausing my wedding to ask Mill and Sil to put their phones away? Full disclosure. My 26F husband, 28M, and I got married last year in an elopement-style wedding. Because COVID cancelled our big wedding. But his mother, my Mill, could not make it. It was his decision to move forward and get married without her present. Added edit for clarification. Our first elopement ceremony in 2020 was recorded and widely shared on social media. We wanted a private ceremony for this go-around and did express that to our families. We rescheduled our big wedding to this summer, but still did not feel comfortable having 200+ guests yet, so we cancelled. I really wanted to make sure that my Mill had the opportunity and experience of seeing her son get married, so we opted for another small ceremony to celebrate with our close family. 8 guests composed of my parents, his parents, my 3 brothers and his sister who I will refer to as Sil. This time we had the works. Stellar venue and reception with a photographer to record the day. We didn't get to have this for our elopement. Because we were paying for a photographer, we asked our families to put phones away during the ceremony for 2 reasons. We paid money for a photographer and we wanted our families to enjoy the moment. The day of the wedding comes and we are so excited. Our family is whole and getting to experience our wedding. As I am walking down the aisle with my parents, I see my husband and he is happy. Then I scan over to my brothers on one side and they are happy. And then I see my Mill and Sil, 26F, with their phones in front of their face recording everything. I make it to the front, kiss and hug my parents, get to my husband and asked him to ask his family to put their phones away during the ceremony. His parents do not speak English, and my fluency in their language is limited, so I deferred to my husband to translate. I was as discreet as I could have been, but it was a small ceremony, and I was in a big white dress, nothing super discreet about anything I could ask. His mom reluctantly put her phone away, his sister rolled her eyes and also put her phone away. The ceremony continues, we say our I do's and vows, take some pictures with the photographer, and have a great time with our reception. I asked my husband about it later, and he told me that his sister wanted to record the ceremony and his mom got a new phone and wanted to use it to take pictures for herself. He expressed that he did communicate to them the no phones rule, but didn't remind them beforehand. I don't blame him, I think that his family was maybe forgetful of our wishes? In hindsight, I probably should have just let it go to enjoy the moment myself and avoid conflict, but for me, I was a little upset that we spent time, money, and energy to recreate a special moment for my Mill only to have her experience it through her phone. I may be the asshole because I called them out in a small ceremony by having my husband ask them to put their phones away. I think I may have embarrassed them. Am I the asshole for pausing the wedding to ask for phones to be put away? Edit for why I may be the asshole. I may be the asshole because I called my Mill and Sil out in a small ceremony by having my husband ask them to put their phones away. I think I may have embarrassed them and ruined their experience of the wedding. Not the asshole, not even close. It was a policy, brides get their way on wedding days, and their stated reason is shit. Oh, I wanted to try my new toy out on your wedding day even though you specifically said not to. Very sweetly take the moral high road, honey, because you have it. Not the asshole. It's a very common rule to not have phones at the ceremony. If his mom really wanted a recording, she could have set up a tripod out of the way to record so she could still watch. Not the asshole. It is so rude to be on your phone, even just to record you take pictures, during the ceremony. Not the asshole. Perhaps your husband should have reminded them about the no phones rule, but this is a totally fine rule to have. The other issue with people using their phones is they sometimes get in the way of the professional photographer by stopping the ceremony you made sure that didn't happen and they didn't ruin your expensive shots. Not the asshole. A little unusual for the bride to have to do the enforcing, but having phones out in the middle of a performance or a ceremony automatically makes someone ta. Bonus asshole points if they've already been specifically asked not to do it, and triple if they're actively blocking the view or it's dark and they have a bright display. I have to go against the grain here. While your wishes were certainly not unreasonable, it's not like they were talking or texting on their phones and causing a disruption. They were enjoying getting video of a beautiful bride walking down the aisle and their son and brother getting married to his wife. I don't think you're an awe for your wishes to not have phones out. I also don't think your in-laws are awes for wanting to record a memory. However, I do think you are the asshole for pausing the ceremony to take away their joy of doing so. Not a good way to start off with this family, and the sister's eye roll confirms that to me. Everyone sucks here. They shouldn't have had their phones out, but you say that your no phone policy was for them to enjoy the moment. I bet that was one moment they didn't enjoy. You are the asshole. They were recording you, not texting. I agree it could be considered rude, but you became a bridezilla. Am I the asshole for telling YouTube prankers to stop wasting my time? I'm a 38-year attorney who has a passion for playing and teaching music. On my spare time, which I don't have much of, I give electric guitar and bass lessons at my local music store. It doesn't pay much, but I don't do it for the money. I do it because I love teaching, and watching people get into playing music is one of my all-time favorite things. A couple days ago, 2 younger guys, maybe 22, come in for a lesson. They say that the one guy just bought a bass from the store last week and paid for a lesson. Cool. That's the most common thing I hear. I start giving the lesson, and I notice that the guy that came with is recording. That's common enough, albeit it's usually a parent. Regardless, it's fine and I don't mind it at all. The kid in the lesson is playing fine enough, making little mistakes here and there as newbies usually do, but all in all, he's doing a fine job. The end of the lesson rolls around, and as I always do, I end it by teaching them a well-known bass riff. I teach him how to play the bass part for Feel Good Inc. Sorry, I know it's in your head now. He plays it well enough, buzzing here and there, but all in all, he does a good job. After he plays it, he goes, "Hey, can I try something else?" So I say, "Yeah, sure." He then starts playing Master of Puppets, a notoriously difficult bass line, damn near perfectly. About 30 seconds in, he plays some Muse, then goes into Primus. This probably lasts less than 2 minutes, but I get up, open the door, and tell them politely that obviously he doesn't need lessons, so lesson's over. They both start laughing, but I'm just annoyed. The kid playing the bass goes, "Haha man, lighten up. It's just a prank." I say, "That's great man, but I don't have time for it." They follow me out still cackling and telling me to chill out and have a little fun. I tell them I'm not amused and tell them to waste someone else's time. They go, "Don't worry, bro, you're still getting paid, so have a little fun." I tell them sternly but politely that I don't do this for the money, I do it because I want to teach. I tell them that when they book up a spot just to do this kind of thing, they prevent others who actually want to learn from getting a spot. Sure, there's usually plenty of spots open for other students, but that's not the point. The point is that they're still taking up a lesson just to waste someone's time. They basically tell me I have sour grapes, and that I'm a jerk. Other people in the store are laughing and seem to be taking their side, telling me to lighten up and live a little. I almost don't want to give lessons at that store anymore over this. Am I in the wrong here? Am I the asshole for just wanting to teach? Edit. I'd like to clarify the line, there's usually plenty of spots open for other students. That's slots overall for all teachers, meaning when they used one of my slots, other students could still get a slot with other teachers, but the fact still stands that they took one of my slots that would have been booked otherwise. I book up every slot on the days I teach, so when I say that it's a waste of my time and others' time, it is. Not the asshole. I hate 99.9% of pranks, especially pranks that waste someone's time so someone else can snag a little clout. It's not about not having a sense of humor, it's about thinking your need for attention is more important than whatever anyone else is up to. You probably would have made it easier on yourself by just rolling your eyes, laughing, and moving on, but no one has a right to that reaction from you. Not the asshole. Pranks are funny when everyone laughs. Getting paid for wasting your time doesn't make it funny. I may be out of the loop, but what part of that was a prank? Dude just wasted OP's time trying to show off he knows how to play the bass. Not the asshole. You offered to help them learn to play bass, not to be a part of their joke, and though they may be a bit too immature to understand it, they did waste your time. You seem like a nice guy though, so I hope this experience doesn't put you off helping others. Not the asshole. I'd get pissed off if someone who could read perfectly got me to sit with them and sound out 3-letter words just to say, "Can I try one more page?" and start reading to me perfectly from insert difficult book. Not the asshole. That crap is annoying. Tell them you don't agree to being posted online. It was fun once and now everybody who thinks they're the shit does it. It's the ultimate fishing for compliments and wasting people's time, like you said. You should have kept a poker face and told him his difficult piece really sucks and that's what all the beginners do. Not the asshole. Make sure that video gets taken down. See how they like their time being wasted. I'd also stop the lessons for a while. If anyone asks why, you point them in the direction of the comedians. Not the asshole. That would piss me off too.